We are doing it.
But should we have done it sooner?
We are doing it. It is time for us to do what we have been doing, and that time is every day. Every day it is time for us to agree. It is time for us to do what we have been doing, and that time is every day. Every day it is time for us to agree. It is time for us to...
Should we have done that sooner?
We are doing it.
But should we have done it sooner?
We're doing it. It is time for us to do what we have been doing, and that time is every day. Every day it is time for us to agree.
Should we have done that sooner?
We are doing it.
But should we have done it sooner?
We're doing it. It is time for us to do what we have been doing, and that time is every day. Every day it is time for us to agree.
Should we have done that sooner?
We are doing it.
But should we have done it sooner?
We're doing it. It is time for us to do what we have been doing, and that time is every day. Every day it is time for us to agree.
Joe Brandon, I agree. Joe Brandon, I agree.
And then they have cans of soup. And they throw the cans of soup. That's better than a brick, because you can't throw a brick, it's too heavy. But a can of soup, you can really put some power into that, right? And then when they get caught, they say, no, this is soup from my family. They're so innocent. This is soup from my family. It's incredible. And you have people coming over with bags of soup, big bags of soup. And they lay it in the ground, and the anarchists take it and they start throwing it at our cops, at our police. And if it hits you, that's worse than a brick, because it's got force. It's the perfect size. It's like made perfect. And when they get caught, they say, no, this is just soup from my family. And then the media says, this is just soup. These people are very, very innocent. They're innocent people. At the same time, the vaccine is one of the greatest achievements of mankind.
Joe Brandon, I agree.
It is time for us to do what we have been doing, and that time is every day. Every day it is time for us to agree.
I admit to always improving.
Let's go, Brandon. I agree.
They're coming all over the place.
Let's go, Brandon. I agree.
Oh, seriously, hot sauce. I've been eating a lot of hot sauce.
I liked beer. I still like beer. But I did not drink beer to the point of blacking out.
Hello? Is this thing on? Folks, I'm alive. I would like to say that I have my hat on. I don't know why. I'm alive. So I've got a little bit of a setup here. Right now I'm streaming live from my bunker. I have escaped YouTube jail, folks, and I have escaped. I'm live in my bunker right now, broadcasting from the bunker, and I'm trying to get this to function, but it's not because I'm in a bunker. Okay, I think that's it. Okay. So, folks, I'm broadcasting live in a bunker. I have constructed myself a large Faraday cage, as you can see, to block the outgoing and incoming signals, so that the individuals that are chasing me, they're after me right now, folks. I've got to be honest. They're after me. I don't feel comfortable explaining just the depth of trouble that I've put myself in. But I have escaped YouTube jail, and I've constructed a large Faraday cage that I'm broadcasting from. It's got only one output, and that is a hardwire Ethernet cable going to the dark web, and that is how the signal is being broadcast via the dark web. And so then I've got someone rerouting it onto YouTube for me, because I've made that, paying them in Bitcoin. Can you hear me? Is this thing on? Can you hear me? Am I audible at all? I don't know what's happening, but I think I'm audible. So we got some chatters here. Got some goddamn chatters here. Folks, I've got this coffee. It's not bad. Okay, so we got Sal. Hey Sal. Happy I could watch this before work. Yeah, that's me too. Except I'm working right now, so I can only watch the show during work, if you can believe it. Like anyway. So I'm broadcasting in a bunker. I'm in a bunker right now. And so yeah, there you go. So I'm in a bunker. And I would hopefully like to be able to escape the bunker, but we'll see about that. But folks, I got in trouble. The teacher gave me like a pink slip. I got in trouble. I got written up, and I would like to discuss that that whole thing. And before I get into discussing that, I would like to say that Donald Trump lost the 2020 election. Joe Biden won the 2020 election. That's what happened. If you disagree, you're dumb. Donald Trump is a loser. He lost the Electoral College, and he lost the popular vote. He did not win. There was no problems with voter fraud whatsoever, and anyone who says that there were is an idiot. Except there actually was a couple cases, but I believe those were Trump-supporting Republicans. And so, again, I want to be very clear. Donald Trump is the loser of the 2020 election. I don't know. He lost. He lost. I don't know what to say. But I got a strike on YouTube, folks. which is why I'm now broadcasting in my bunker, because I have escaped YouTube jail. But I got a strike on YouTube because apparently someone misinterpreted something I said at some point as in a way that YouTube claims was election misinformation about the 2020 election. In this video, I didn't even mention the 2020 election, so I don't know exactly. It's just, YouTube does that thing. They do that thing where they decide to fuck with you, and they don't tell you what you did wrong or how you did wrong. But according to YouTube, which is filled with extremely intelligent individuals, according to YouTube, I was peddling in some 2020 election misinformation for the first and only time, apparently, because I didn't even know that I was peddling 2020 misinformation. But again, just to be clear, Donald Trump lost the election. I never said otherwise. I categorically deny these claims, but we all know how this works. One thing on Twitter that YouTube said to me was that my video could, quote, materially discourage voting. In fact, I will bring that open on here real quick. I should have had this prepared, but I didn't, so deal with that. Materially discourage voting is what they accused me of doing. And so I personally, I disagree, so I will get you that in just a moment. Okay, so here is the tweet here. So YouTube said, now this is the part that I'm very interested in. The video contains content to mislead, contains content that aims to mislead. This is the key word here. Aims. So YouTube is telling me what my intent is in my video, which is, that's just not possible. You can't tell me what my intent is. Now, given the fact that I rewatched this video and I mentioned the 2020 election exactly 0 times, I don't think that you can, I disagree. I don't know what else to say. But either way, this part that's so interesting, which could materially discourage voting. That's the thing that really is strange to me. Is materially discouraging voting against the YouTube terms of service? Now, again, in the video that YouTube flagged, I said explicitly one of the only ways that we can fix how stupid this country is to encourage voting. I told everyone in my viewer base to vote, because a lot of people think that, oh, well, voting changes nothing, so I'm just not going to vote at all. And then they just wash their hands of it and pretend like they're smarter than everyone else. I disagree with that. I think that you need to vote. I think if you have somehow managed to crack the code, yes, the Democrats are bad at governing and the Republicans are evil. Wow. You want a prize? You want a cookie? You want a fucking trophy? Okay. But if you come to that conclusion and your answer is just, I'm not going to vote. You're a dumbass. You're a dumbass. Okay, so again, voting is an important tool. I never discourage voting. I always advocate to vote. But also, it's interesting that they wrote this because I had no idea that discouraging voting was against the YouTube terms of service. If that were the case, then, I don't know, wouldn't Jimmy Dore be banned? Wouldn't the People's Party be banned? I don't know. I'm just throwing these things out here. Now, again, you can go into the terms of service here. Certain types of misleading or deceptive content. Now, deceptive, again, implies intent, with serious risk of egregious harm are not allowed on YouTube. This includes certain types of misinformation that can cause real-world harm. There you go. So if we find any content, blah, blah, blah. Voter suppression. I didn't talk about voter suppression. Content aiming to mislead voters about the time, place, means, or eligibility requirements. I never did that. Now, I talk about Republicans passing laws that explicitly make it harder to vote, but I never told anyone what time or place to vote because the election was over a year ago. So how could I, on December 24th, 2021, tell people where to vote in the 2020 election? So that doesn't mean anything. Candidate eligibility. content that advances false claims related to the technical eligibility requirements for current political candidates and sitting elected government officials to serve in office. Eligibility requirements considered are based on applicable national law, including age, citizenship, or vital status. I don't even know what that means. Like, I never discussed that at all. Incitement to interfere with democratic process. Content encouraging others to interfere with the democratic processes. That includes obstructing or interrupting voting procedures. I never did that at all. Distribution of hacked materials, content that contains hacked info, the disclosure of which may interfere with the democratic process. I'm not getting any hacked info, folks. I'm just some idiot bitch with a fucking microphone. So I'm not getting any hacked info. Election integrity, content that advances any false claims that widespread fraud, errors, or glitches change the outcome of past national elections after final election results are officially certified. This currently applies to any past U.S. presidential election or any 2021 German federal election. Okay. So anyway, why does this only apply to the presidential elections? Like, that's weird. But also, I never talked about this. Now, again, in the video, I may have said things like Joe Biden won the primary by sheer luck because all of the other candidates coalesced around him, dropped out, and endorsed Joe Biden the day before Super Tuesday. That is not election misinformation. That is just what happened. Did I say Joe Biden cheated? No. Like, did I say, and this also has nothing to do with the 2020 general election with Donald Trump versus Joe Biden. Trump lost, right? So I've never engaged in any of these conspiracy theories. And so YouTube is clearly incorrect. But again, the thing here is that it doesn't say anywhere that there is anywhere that you can discourage voting. In fact, let me Control F this. Discourage. Okay, so here we go. So voter suppression that could materially discourage voting. Okay, so they do say it here. But either way, how could the time, place, means, or eligibility requirements for voting? That doesn't make any sense. The election was in November of 2020. How can I discourage people from voting in the 2020 election on December 24th, 2021? Am I a time traveler? Am I a time traveler? Have I, traveled to another dimension? You know, I don't understand what at all this could possibly mean. The whole thing is ridiculous. YouTube gave me a fake strike. I don't know what to tell you about that. And so that's why I was not on YouTube for about a week and a half or so, because they lied. I don't know what to tell you. They did not tell the truth. Robots control the whole shit, and there's really nothing anyone can do about it. So that's the story. And now I'm streaming live from a bunker. I have constructed myself a Faraday cage, as you can see. I am surrounded in foil. I am surrounded in these materials that will protect me from the cyber criminals, as well as potentially the cyber ninjas. I'm not sure if they're on the case yet. But anyway, so that's the story. But anyway, what are people saying? I don't have my setup in a way where I can see the chat very easily, so... Been watching Doom a day. Thanks for uploading. Another problem with the YouTube strike is I planned on doing a daily goddamn series. And so then I couldn't upload that for a week. So I'm going to be uploading the backlog. They're all ready. I'm going to be uploading that throughout the day and maybe tomorrow as well. Catch up to where we are. I've been playing a lot of Doom, folks. I've been having a lot of fun with Doom over the course of my YouTube strike. And by a lot of fun, I mean no fun at all. But I have been playing it. And so there you go. I think it's your intro. If it were my intro, then every video would not exist. So in the video that they removed, I was talking about the 2020 primary on the Democrat side, and I mentioned how candidates dropped out and endorsed Joe Biden. And so I think that they misinterpreted that speech as being about the 2020 election. And by misinterpreted, I mean a robot flagged something in the closed captions, and then it was sent to a robot, and then it was sent to another robot. That's what I mean by that. I look great in VR. Are you watching me in VR right now? Hello! How are you doing? How are you doing? Is that scaring you? Am I doing it? Okay. Hello, folks. There's a lot of people in here. Jesus Christ. Trying to catch up on the chat. I hope Max is with you. Missing him. Max! Maxie! Where the fuck is this goddamn dog? Where the fuck is this goddamn dog? Maxie! Maxie, come here! Maxie! Hold up, we'll get you some Max content here. Max! Come here. Come here, Maxie, come here. Ooh. Here he is. Maxie! Oh, the puppy! Oh, no, the puppo! He's a good puppy. What happened? What did you miss? Rewind. Judgment by Razik. Razik. I know Razik. That's cool. God dang dog. CJ Fernandez, what's your medical insurance situation? Did you check and see if NC has a Medicaid expansion? My medical insurance situation is I'll figure that out in 5 months when I turn 26. But thank you for that. I don't know if NC has Medicaid expansion. I don't think so. Oh, Sal's a hyper patron. Is that true? I'll change the scroller. Let me check that. I haven't been checking my emails over the last week, folks. I want to let everyone know that I've endured some very interesting life events in the last couple of in the last week. So the YouTube strike coincided with me doing a lot of things, and so I did some traveling, and so just throwing that out there. So I did not check the internet too much. I don't know how Patreon works. Okay, patrons. Relationship, man. I'm checking to see. I'm verifying. It's not that I don't think Sal's lying. I just, I want to look. I want to see the thing. Is this in alphabetical order? Up there. Okay. All right, which one is this? I'm sorry, folks. I was vaporizing some legal marijuana, and it's really hitting me. So I'm just throwing that out there. Some legal marijuana, which is legal, by the way. Okay. Is NC a swing state? Maybe. It's got a Democrat won the governor race and Trump won in the same election, so I guess. A new Yu-Gi-Oh game called Master came out yesterday. It's free to play and pretty decent. It has old and new cards. That's interesting. Yu-Gi-Oh is in fact better than Jesus. That's correct. It's on PC and all gaming consoles. Paladin's doing a goddamn fucking advertisement. Like, a new Yu-Gi-Oh game came out. It's called Master. It's pretty decent. It's got all the cards available on PC and all gaming consoles. Pat Ryan, I don't know who that is. Hugo Chavez, hello. I am eating donut balls dipped in melted chocolate with some ice cream on the side and a coffee. I just thought you should know. That sounds pretty good. So, that sounds pretty good. Why did I build a bunker around yourself? Are you doing improvements to your apartment? Well, I don't live in an apartment. But I built a bunker because I constructed a giant Faraday cage. Because YouTube cyber ninjas are after me. And so I'm trying to survive out here. I took some notes from John McAfee in his attempts to escape and evade capture unfortunately, rest in peace, John McAfee. Rest in power. Let's be honest here. Rip to a good one. He did not make it. They did catch him. So I'm trying to figure out where John McAfee went wrong, and in that process, I've constructed myself a giant Faraday cage. We've got some we've got protections from the cyber ninjas. They will not be able to get me. I think it's considered a swing state, but swing states should not exist. To hell with the Electoral College. Speaking of the U.S. system of government, it's been a year since Joe Biden was inaugurated. Let me do a segment. So it's been a year since Joe Biden has been inaugurated. It's been 1 year. It's currently January 20th, 2022, and he's not doing a great job. It's not going so well for Joe Biden during this presidency so far. So that's it. That's the update. Yeah. So yeah. There you go.
Let's go, Brandon. I agree.
That's the update. The 1 year mark. Joe Biden. Faraday cage doesn't let cell phone or Wi-Fi waves through. That is why my cell phone does not work. It doesn't function. So, I don't know. It's proof. The Cawthorn story. If I missed anything that y'all want me to cover, DM it to me on Twitter. I just recovered from COVID this last week. Today is my first day back at work. Yikes. I hope you're okay. New poll out today saying a majority of people don't want him to stand again. Ooh, Biden? Well, I could have guessed that. But yeah, folks, please bear with me. For this show, this is I'm still setting up the giant Faraday cage, and so I've also I vaporized some legal weed, and I'm high, so that's kind of what's happening. So vaped some legal weed, which I bought legally, which is pretty incredible. As of now, just 28% of Americans say they want Biden to run for election in 2024. That's amazing. That's really good. But yeah, so I legally purchased legal weed, legally, and I vaporized the legal weed, and it's I haven't let's talk about it. I haven't done these vape carts bullshit. I haven't done this in a long time. Is it legal in North Carolina? It is not legal in North Carolina. That's all I'll say on that one. But I haven't had legal weed in a long time because I lived in North Carolina. Well, I was in North Carolina for a significant period of time, and so, not used to it. So I'm pretty fucked up right now. But like I said, folks, I've done some traveling, so I'm not in North Carolina at the moment. But yeah, so, and I'm pretty fucking high, so, yep, I'm used to illegal weed, which is illegal, and I would not, in fact, I don't even recommend drugs at all. I would say, if you can avoid drugs, that's a good thing, because, the only drug you need is the COVID-19 vaccine, so, that's the situation on that one. Yeah, so, if I hadn't been vaccinated, I'm sure I would have been in the hospital. I ran a 103 fever for 4 days. God damn. My hair looks nice today. Thank you. I haven't taken a shower in like 3 days. So that's what it looks like when that happens. When did they let you out? They didn't let. I broke out of jail. That's why, again, I have constructed a large Faraday cage, Bodan, I'll answer your question. Faraday cage blocks signals so the cyber ninjas cannot track me. I am untrackable. From the cyber ninjas I'm untrackable. I'm untraceable and I'm untrackable. And so I'm on the run. Like John McAfee was from the IRS. That's where I'm at right now. I'm on the run. So, where am I? I am here. That's where I am. The new intro speed is epic. Please keep it. Well, it's just 30% speed. So, I don't know if I'll keep it. It depends on how long I'm in the Faraday cage. The weird thing about a YouTube strike is that when you get the strike, you're off for a week, but then they keep the strike on your account or whatever for like, it's like a fucking pink slip or some shit. For like 3 months. And again, it's for some bogus nonsense. So I'm going to be running away from the cyber ninjas for a couple months. I'm in a goddamn Faraday cage. So anyway, yeah, so I'm assuming, do you have munchies for my legal weed session? I don't. Well, I just consumed the legal weed as soon as the stream started. So, yeah, I haven't had legal weed in like fucking a long time, so it's pretty good. Camel Jam, just rewind if just I did the first thing on it. So, but yes, I want to say thank you to everyone who provided me with monetary support over the course of my YouTube strike. Again, whenever I get a YouTube strike, it is scary, because of that. But I did get quite a bit of support, so I do appreciate that, and I don't know. It's thank you. I don't know how to be nice. I'm sorry, but I did appreciate it. It was very nice, and it's definitely helped me stay sane. It's helped me, not worry so much. So, and I had some other things come up around the same time as the YouTube strike. So I had a couple things come up, and having to worry about income on top of these other things was something I didn't need to do because my viewers are very nice. So I appreciate that. A girl told me she wants to put me in a sissy cage. Is that like a Faraday cage? Yeah, it's very similar actually. So I would say go for it. Yes, I got Milagro, but I haven't had a chance to read it yet. So I am a project. Well, I guess it might also be a product. A project that I'm going to be working on over the next couple of months is I'm going to be making a new website. I want to make it so that people start using my website. Like a couple other streamers do this, where like they have their own website, and so that way if they get banned on a site for temporary reasons, people know where to find them. So I want to make like that kind of website, but that's going to take a couple weeks and or months. So I don't know if it's going to be Speed Dog. I'm just, Vouch does that. Yes, I know a couple people do that. And so that's going to be something I want to work on so that if I do get a strike, it doesn't affect it because they can just go to my website, and it will be like, I will use YouTube, like, YouTube will be the main, but like, if I get a strike on YouTube or something and I can't stream, I will embed another platform on the website, and then that way, that'll be how it works. That's a plan I'm working on. The only thing they gave me for my COVID is a Pro Air inhaler and codeine cough medicine, so I've been leaning for about a week. Well, I mean, if it gets you through, it gets you through. You can stream on Telegram, Hugo? I don't think that's a thing. But yeah, that's something I plan on doing. Folks, it's 20 goddamn motherfucking son of a bitch in 22. That's crazy. Doesn't feel like it. Doesn't feel like it, that's for sure. So I heard some stuff about the fucking filibuster. Should we talk about the fucking filibuster? So I heard some stuff about the filibuster over my goddamn break. This fucking filibuster bullshit. I mean, again, I don't know what the hell's going on, with these goddamn, Democrats and Republicans, because the thing here, people get mad at me when I don't do, the whole goddamn... When I don't do the whole goddamn spiel, every single time I make one of these goddamn videos. But yeah, so, there's 50 Republicans in the goddamn Senate. That's a problem. Republicans are bad. But the other problem is the Democrats are also really bad. They're also just bad at doing their jobs. How is it, Democrats will say, yes, Republicans are to blame, Republicans are to blame, but they'll ignore their own problems. What the fuck is this filibuster bullshit? Right? The Senate... Chuck Schumer is the Senate Majority Leader. Can't he fucking do something? Can't Joe Biden do something? Right, so they fucking filibustered the goddamn the Freedom to Vote Act or whatever. They fucking filibustered that shit. What are you gonna do? This is why I keep telling you, the government's all, they're not gonna help you, they're not gonna help us. We gotta vote these motherfuckers out. So again, I'm not trying to materially discourage voting here. That's the thing is Democrats need to find something to run on that's going to be successful for the midterms. But they're not. And Joe Biden could just do executive orders and say, if you like good stuff like legal weed, I was vaporizing some legal weed earlier, and it's legal, and it's weed, and it's legal weed. So, he could do that in all 50 states, but he's not. He could do a lot of other things on student debt relief. He could do this, make the Democratic Party brand more popular, but they're not doing that. And the Republicans are just I don't know. I'm worried that people do this thing where they don't like the party in power, so they vote for the opposite party as if that's going to help anything. As if oh yeah, does anyone remember Donald Trump and how bad that was? Because I do. I remember how bad Donald Trump was, especially his first 2 years when he had fucking complete control and they fucked a lot of shit up. But, again, they're just garbage. So, we're looking at a really rough couple of goddams coming up pretty soon here. So, that's my opinion on the fucking filibuster. Abolish that shit. Two Dems are the problems. Yeah, they are. That's absolutely true. But the fact that, the rest of the party isn't just saying, fuck them. They're Republicans. Fuck them. That's what they are. They're fucking Republicans. So pass all your fucking judges in. Get all that shit done. And then fucking excise them from the goddamn. Get rid of them. Manchin and Sinema need to go. Kerry Washington. Who is Kerry Washington? That's a familiar name. Let me look this person up. Oh, right. Okay, I know who she is. Yeah, she's in that one political show, Scandal. Pretty good. I like the super soldiers and the CIA stuff. The fucking the super soldiers. Yo, I watched that show a couple years ago. But man, when the super soldiers kill the lawyer guy, fuck, man, that was fucked up. That was my favorite character, and they fucking killed him. I was just thinking how stupid it is that people vote for the opposite party in the midterms. It shows how low resolution our national thinking is. Yes, this is actually why my other stream got fucked up, because I was talking about how stupid Americans are, and I was just ranting and raving. But Americans are fucking stupid. Americans are fucking stupid. 45% of these fucking cocksuckers pray on a daily basis. Like, they sit down on their knees and they suck the dick of an imaginary fucking invisible sky daddy. That's crazy. Like, they're crazy. So 45%, they're done. They're gone. Like, they're out of control. They're fucking Looney Tunes. Right? And then you look at, like, 63% believe in the sky daddy, but they don't pray. Like, imagine believing in the sky daddy, but you don't pray. Like, what's the point? What's the fucking point of believing in the goddamn sky daddy if you're not going to pray? You're not going to follow all the goddamn rules. So why not? Like, oh, I believe in them, but I'm not going to follow the rules? That's weird. But then you've got, 95% of Americans don't eat vegetables. The hell's going on there? Like, that, Americans are fucking dumb. Shitty country. Horrible country. Goddamn. That's what I have to say about this country. It's a horrible country. All right, I'm going to look up... I'm gonna look up some shit. $10, Andrew Kohler. County Cullen, Harlem Renaissance poet, in 1944 wrote a poem called Mad Song, satirizing anti-voting rights segregationists that holds up today, saying they march with the Nazi knee to knee. Yeah, there you go. So shout out to the County Cullen and Andrew Kohler. Hello, Courtney. How's it going? Religion isn't unique to America. I'm very aware of that, sadly. So I was talking about legal weed earlier. So I want to talk about this. So, this is a great advertisement and advertisement, if you will, that I saw from Gary Chambers. Gary Chambers, running in, I believe, in Louisiana, I think. So this is his first campaign ad of his Senate campaign. I hope this ad works not to only destigmatize the use of marijuana, but also forces a new conversation that creates the pathway to legalize this beneficial drug and forgive those who are arrested due to outdated ideology. And so I had a chance to meet Gary Chambers. He came to a protest in North Carolina that I was at, so I said hello. And so let's watch this because it's pretty good. I like it.
Every 37 seconds, someone is arrested for possession of marijuana. Since 2010, state and local police have arrested an estimated 7.3 million Americans for violating marijuana laws, over half of all drug arrests. Black people are 4 times more likely to be arrested for marijuana laws than white people. States waste $3.7 billion enforcing marijuana laws every year. Most of the people police are arresting aren't dealers, but rather people with small amounts of pot, just like me. I'm Gary Chambers, and I'm running for the U.S. Senate, and I approve this message.
So there you go.
Every 37 seconds.
Very short, very simple, very good. So I would recommend following Gary Chambers on this one. Maybe I could get him on the show if that's possible. I don't know if it's possible. But I did have a chance to say hello to Gary. I came down to Elizabeth City during the summer, so pretty cool. And then again, yes, the advertisement was 37 seconds. But again, now I lived in North Carolina for a considerable amount of time, and weed's legal or illegal there. So I want to tell, during the Elizabeth City protests, I had charges and I had to go to court. And most of my experience in waiting in the courtroom for 8 hours a day every time I had to go to court was that almost every single person, right, that was being put up there and having charges against them was for marijuana possession. Like almost every, like, it was like marijuana possession, like DUI, marijuana possession, possession, DUI sometimes, right? Possession, traffic ticket, possession. And almost every single, if not every single, I don't think I noticed a white person, but almost every single, if not every single person that I noticed in the court system when I was in there was being charged and sentenced over marijuana possession were black. And so again, and this is in North Carolina, Elizabeth City, North Carolina. Elizabeth City is on the border of Virginia. Virginia, a state where it's legal. So what? So like, okay, so you can go to Virginia and do whatever. You can grow weed, you can smoke weed, you can throw weed into the fucking, you know, you could put it in a spice jar, you could fucking, like, you know, I don't know, you could plant weed in your garden, or you can do whatever the fuck you want, right? And then you walk across an imaginary line, and all of a sudden, there's like fucking motherfuckers with guns like chasing you through the streets and trying to fucking throw you in a cage. Like, what? What? Like, I mean, it's fascinating. It's crazy. It's crazy. So again, huge proponent of marijuana legalization. I'm a huge proponent of decriminalization of all drugs. You know, I would throw psychedelics in the list. You know, just there's no problem with them. You know, if you want to have a conversation about cocaine or heroin or something, I think that they should also be decriminalized. But drugs that have no known, like, you know, addiction risk, like mushrooms, for example, should also not be illegal. It's ridiculous. And again, we need to note that when marijuana was made federally illegal, the administration to do so and invent the industry, the agency, the Drug Enforcement Agency, the Nixon administration, they literally created the Controlled Substances Act and the DEA as a way of controlling minority populations. There were memos in the White House sent around from, the chief of staff and aides and all that stuff with the president involved that said that they were targeting groups such as, quote, the blacks and the hippies, the anti-war, anti-Vietnam movement, and black people were on the list. And how are you going to criminalize them? Well, you can't criminalize being black. You know, that they just passed the Civil Rights Act, so they can't do that anymore. So what are we going to do to control these populations that are voting against us? Well, what we're going to do is criminalize their hobbies. And so they managed to find a bunch of these drugs, not alcohol. You can't make alcohol illegal because too many white people, too many upstanding conservatives like their whiskey, right? So alcohol is good. Cigarettes, again, too many upstanding, beautiful, gorgeous white people. They love their cigarettes. They love their menthols. You can't criminalize that. But weed, right? You know, stuff like mushrooms. You got to get rid of it. You got to get rid of it, because if you have it, chances are you're anti-war or you're a black person, and we gotta find ways to make being black illegal, and that's what this country has done. And so the DEA is like a criminal organization. In my opinion, it's a terrorist organization. Everyone involved with the DEA since its inception should go to jail because they have committed crimes against humanity. In my opinion, it's just, if you've ever arrested someone for marijuana, if you're a police officer who's ever done so, you belong in prison. You are violating people's civil liberties. You're violating their right to life. We're humans. We control what we experience. We control our own consciousness, so you can't do that kind of shit. In my opinion, everyone who's ever done that is a terrorist, and they should go to jail for their crimes against humanity. And free all, a lot of people say free nonviolent drug offenders. It depends on the violence. I don't know, like, what is violence? You know, sometimes, things attract as violence in the legal system when there was no violence occurred. Like, if you break into a car, is that violence? I don't know. I don't think so. Like if you spit on a cop's shoes, is that violence? Is that assaulting a police? No. So I would go a step further. We need to re-examine all these cases related to drug arrests, not just non-violent, because the legal definition of violent is often attributed to anyone and everyone, and they never are violent. So I want to be very clear on that one. But again, lock up everyone involved with the DEA, get rid of them. They're a criminal terrorist organization, and we need to legalize this shit immediately. Because there's no reason that it's illegal. So shout outs to Gary Chambers, great advertisement. I'm drinking some goddamn coffee. Coffee's also, by the way, not illegal. You'll notice that coffee is actually illegal in all 50 states. So Energy drinks are legal for kids to buy. A kid can go into a fucking Wawa and buy 7 fucking Monsters, drink them all, and have a heart attack. That's totally possible. I've read stories. So, but it's, guess what? Federally legal because the upstanding white people love it. Thank you for the super chat. The encrypted afro. Go get high. I'm doing that actually. Check this out. Legal weed, folks. That's incredible. Would you make meth legal? Absolutely. It's hard for me right now with my current setup. It's hard for me to read the chat while I'm in this, so I'm catching up on the chat here. I really don't like the idea of weed being ubiquitous. I don't like it. I don't think it should be a criminal offense to be caught with it, but I don't like it being everywhere. Well, I think that makes you a little bit of a dork. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be rude. I'm not trying to be like a mean-spirited person, but it makes you a little bit of a dork, like a nerd. Like someone who probably is familiar with the inner workings of a locker. But that's all you. You can do whatever you want. I'm not trying to, it's all good. Yes, Gary Chambers ran for Congress, I believe, in 2020 after, rightfully going after someone on a city council or county commissioner meeting or something. I got it, Gary came up to North Carolina at some point, so. The name marijuana is racist within itself. I agree with that. I got arrested for being a black man in a racist country is bullshit. I'm not even black. Well, what other country? USA? I don't want to send super chats here anymore after what they did. We'll use PayPal from now on. That's a good point, Rielon. Now, again, YouTube did give me a fake strike. And so, YouTube, when you do a super chat, they take 25%. Let's just, no offense to anybody in specific, but the $20 super chat, I get 15. So, and I also don't get it until the 21st of the next month. So, if you give me something on December 1st, I will not receive it until January 21st. So that's how that payment system works. Whereas PayPal, I get it instantly. Or Cash App, I get it instantly as well. I also have a Cash App. Check my DMs. What, are you sending me DMs now? I'm checking all my goddamn DMs. Oh, right, the weed. Yes. Weed. All right, I'll look at that. Let me catch up with the chat again. It's so silly that caffeine is legal, but meth isn't. I agree. I am not so much a fan of Delta 8. Delta 8's too unregulated for me. I've discovered brands that have like metals in their product, so that's that's a little scary. Weed makes people docile and indolent. Indolent. Wanting to avoid activity or exertion. Lazy. Indolent. Okay. How to pronounce indolent? Slow. Okay.
Indolent.
Okay.
Indolent.
That's interesting. Weed makes people docile and indolent. I guess it does. That's true. Meth makes people aggressive and motivated. That might be true. I've never tried meth. I wouldn't say weed makes people fat and weak. I disagree with that. I don't have PayPal. Give me your address. I'll bring it over in grass. I have enough grass. Thank you. But I do appreciate the offer. How's the mic? Can you hear me okay? Like, how's the audio? Because my mic's like right over here. So I'm like a little far away. I don't trust hallucinogens either because the CIA used LSD for mind control. Oh my god. Well, first of all, you referred to MK Ultra. They did not achieve mind control, so it's very important to understand that that did not work out in their favor. So they were attempting to find a way to hypnotize and perform mind control. But they didn't. So that's an important part of the story, is that they did not actually achieve such a thing. So that didn't happen. They failed. I appreciate how Hugo is so pro-meth. Like, that's so interesting. I've never met someone who's super pro-meth. Legal junk food makes people fat and weak. Yeah, shit like fucking ice cream should be banned, in my opinion. Do I get the munchies? Yes. Okay, this is great. Okay, so Hugo's hashtag my weed story. Okay. Last time I was on weed, by the way, I love the term on weed. Like, yeah, that's right. I'm on weed right now. Some guys at the party were just sucking on my neck and chest, and I was too apathetic to care. What? Like, what? Like, you were assaulted or raped? Like, that's horrible. But, like, I don't know what the weed has to do with that. Like, I'm like, that's horrible. Ice cream isn't even ice cream anymore. That's probably true. Healthy munchies, I suggest Quest cookies. Last week I OD'd on weed. It happens. Oh, is fucking Letterhack here? Letterhack, I got a scoop for you if you're in the chat. I would normally not let men suck on my body. Yeah, that sounds like you got sexually assaulted. Like, you should press charges on them. You like that has nothing to do with weed. Like, you're not like I'm a tough guy. Letterhack, over my break, I'm proud to tell you that I viewed Mandy while on shrooms. So it was very good. Very, very good experience. So just letting you know. Got this, what is this? Wait a sec. I don't know what this is. That is something. Okay. It's as good as you can. It's as good as you can guess. It's very good. All right, folks. Speaking of very good, here's a. Now I want to say again, who knows? I want to start this off by saying, who knows? You know, we don't know yet. Who knows? But coronavirus. A new study suggests cannabis could prevent COVID-19 infections. That's crazy. Cannabis could prevent COVID-19 infections by binding to the spike proteins found on the virus, a new study suggests. Research by Oregon State University, of course, found 2 compounds, which are commonly found in hemp, could offer protection against the virus. Now, again, folks, I would say if you want protection from COVID-19, get fucking vaccinated. That's probably going to be the best way to go ahead and do it. Guess what? We developed a vaccine, right? So, like, we should probably be using the vaccine. So that's what I'm just saying. Like, you know, I love weed. I'm a weeder. In fact, I'm using some legal weed product right now. Let's check this out. All right, so get vaccinated, folks, because if you don't, you'll probably end up dying. So the study is yet to be peer-reviewed. Again, it's not even been peer-reviewed, okay? Which is found in that did not involve THC, which is found in marijuana. Instead, it looked at 2 compounds in hemp: cannabigerolic acid (CBGA) and cannabidiolic acid (CBDA), CBGA and CBDA. So again, this is a THC vape pen, so it looks like I'm not even getting the benefits here. I got to go back to the classic. So again, folks, you know, factor this in as well. Found that both compounds have the potential to stop infections by binding to the spike protein on the virus and blocking a step in the pathogen uses to infect people. The researchers tested the compounds against the alpha and beta variants. They did not give people supplements or compare infection rates in those used in the compound versions to those who didn't. Interesting. Leader, author, you know, Richard Van Breeman of Oregon State's Global Hemp Initiative says that the compounds are abundant in hemp, which is widely available. They are not controlled substances like THC, the psychoactive ingredient in marijuana, and have a good safety profile in humans. They have the potential to prevent as well as treat infection by SARS-CoV-2, he said in a statement to Bloomberg. So again, folks, if you want to be protected from COVID, though, you should probably get vaccinated. In fact, you should be getting your 4th booster shot, according to the CDC, which... The active compounds we've discovered in hemp are cannabidiolic acid, CBDA, CBGA, and THCA. As it stands for acid, the A stands for an acid group, a carboxylic acid. This group can be removed upon treatment, so if the hemp products containing these compounds are smoked or vaped, the heat exposure could cause the chemical decomposition or conversion. So that's why when you eat just raw bud, like, you know, it doesn't get you high or whatever, because you gotta heat it up. You gotta decarboxylate it. But anyway, there you go. Boom. Check it out. That's the news, folks. I didn't make this up. That was the news. Hey, I'm just saying. So, pretty cool. But also get vaccinated because, but also, you know, you can get vaccinated and then get high, right? So that's the thing. But anyway, there you go. That's the story. I didn't know that this was going to turn into the weed show, but it has, and I'm here with it. So, okay. Folks, I'm coming at you live from my bunker. I'm in the Faraday cage, protecting me from the cyber ninjas at this moment. Hugo's cringing it up. I want you to blow your grass in my face. I would prefer to keep my grass in the lawn. You've always been my favorite. Keep up the vigorous pace. Thank you. Fun for the $4.99 super chat. Dread 2012, the chat demands a review. Right, I should probably do some movie reviews because I have watched some movies over the course of the break. Maybe I could do like one a day or something. I have tried neither of those, Hugo. But you know what I do like is the COVID-19 vaccine by Moderna. Don't look back. All right. I'm going to look at some news here. Is there anything that has happened? Do things happen anymore? I don't even know. Don't Look Up. I did a review a couple weeks. I watched it the day it came out, actually. So CIA says Havana Syndrome not result of sustained global campaign by hostile power. This is good. Let's read it. Okay. Bada boom, folks. CIA says Havana Syndrome not result of sustained campaign by hostile power. In about 24 cases, however, the agency can't rule out foreign involvement, including many cases that originated at the U.S. Embassy in Havana, beginning in 2016. Folks, this is some breaking ass news. Check this out. In a new intelligence assessment, an assessment of intelligence, the notoriously intelligent group and agency, the Central Intelligence Agency, CIA, has ruled out the mysterious symptoms known as Havana Syndrome are the result of a sustained global campaign by hostile power aimed at hundreds of U.S. diplomats and spies. 6 people briefed on the matter. They were briefed, folks. Like, these motherfuckers got briefed on the matter, told NBC News. In about 24 cases, the agency cannot rule out foreign involvement. I'm sorry, this was really funny. Like, involvement, what does that mean? Like, involvement. Like, is it what could that could be like the tap water is not, like, good enough to, like a fucking, yeah, I'm gonna poison someone, but I'm just gonna make them a little lethargic, you know, I'm just gonna make them, you know, have like a sore knee, you know, like, okay, great poison. Another group of cases is considered unresolved, but in hundreds of other cases of possible symptoms, the agency has found plausible alternative explanations. I love the language here. Plausible, so not, you know, 100%, but they're plausible. Alternative, you know, like an alternate ending to a movie, right? Like, this is not the real one, but we'll take it, you know. Plausible alternative explanations. Like, okay, they got briefed on the matter. The CIA declined to comment, of course. The idea that widespread brain injury symptoms have been caused by Russia or another foreign power targeting Americans around the world, either to harm them or to collect intelligence, has been deemed unfounded. This is like a Snopes article. People who have experienced possible Havana Syndrome symptoms and have been briefed on the assessment have expressed deep disappointment. Why is that? Like, why, okay, so you're sick. Like, treat the sickness. Like, when I get sick, am I gonna, like, oh, man, I think I'm getting sick because, I think I'm getting sick because, like, Nancy Pelosi, like, put, like, some tablet in the water across the country in a secret experiment that, like, ran off into, like, and then now that resulted in me having a sore toe. And so I think it's Nancy Pelosi. I mean, hey, I'm disappointed that doesn't seem likely. I must say, I'm disappointed that my batshit bizarre conspiracy theory that is honestly a joke, I'm disappointed that it didn't turn out to be true. I'm just, I'm disappointed. I'm sorry, that's so funny. Some have pointed out that the CIA's findings are considered an interim assessment and that they were not coordinated with other agencies, including the Defense Department. CIA has just kind of struck out on their own. A person briefed on the findings. So this is a person. They're a human goddamn being. They're a person. But this isn't just any person. This is not an ordinary person. Like if you walking around your neighborhood and you see, oh, look, there's a person. It's not that person. This is a person that's been briefed on the findings. So, like, this is a binary. Like notice this. Like, this is like a life-altering event. So, so there's one person that exists, right? And then a certain thing happens to them, and they're forever augmented, right? Like, this is like, it's like clicking the switch, and then the switch breaks off. You can't do anything anymore. So they were the person who was any other person, the person in your neighborhood, right? A person who was not briefed on the findings. And then all of a sudden, they underwent a serious event, and then they're now a person that's been briefed on the findings. And they said the CIA just kind of struck out on their own. Like, imagine you have such a fucking power. You've been briefed on the findings, and you get like one sentence that doesn't even convey any information. In a statement, a group that represents U.S. officials who have reported suspected incidents said the CIA's newly issued report may be labeled interim, and it may leave open the door for some alternative explanation in some cases. But to scores of dedicated public servants, their families, and their colleagues, it is a ring of finality and repudiation. Okay, that's probably because it is. I don't know. Anyway, you can read the rest of this if you'd like, but it's pretty silly. Anyway, there you go. The CIA doing a good job. Hugo Chavez, A2. I have never even seen a woman. There you go. Thank you for the super chat. Whew. Trump held secret meetings in the White House residence days before the Capitol attack. I buy it. I believe it. It's probably true. Goddamn Havana Syndrome. All right, folks. So, good to have you back. Thanks. All right, folks, we're going to do a movie review. Because I have a couple movies that I watched over the last week or two that I haven't. I got stricken. I was stricken from YouTube, so I couldn't talk about these goddams. But I want to talk about this movie here. This is Reminiscence. I saw this about a week ago. And so now again, I will be spoiling. I'm gonna be spoiling this, folks. It's gonna be spoiled. So if you don't want the movie to be spoiled, if you don't want it to be spoiled, then you had your chance, so it's gone. But anyway, so the movie's basically it's like a future world, where it's kind of like post climate change. So they live in this they live in Florida or something. But it's post climate change, so there's only rooftops or something, and the water, it's just the streets, and instead of having cars, they have boats. It's super interesting. They just kind of go with it. And then there's a machine that lets you relive memories, basically. Which I love that kind of stuff. So I was interested in this movie. And so the thing about this movie that I like a lot is that you don't know if what you're watching is in like the base reality, or if they're just living in a memory the whole time. You know, it's kind of like Inception in a way. Like, you know, you're living in the memories, you know, in this movie, it's, you know, memories. And then like there's like a part, like a third of the way through the movie, like Hugh Jackman's character just like comes out of the memory tank, and it's like the whole movie you experienced up until that point was just him experiencing a memory, and it happens a couple times. It's pretty cool. I like that kind of stuff. I like time travel, and I love memories, you know, like I love the concept of, you know, that whole thing that's like a thing that's a genre. Is that a genre? It's pretty good. I thought there's like a scene where there's like a shootout, you know, like, so basically he's going through his memories and he's trying to track someone down, and then he tracks someone adjacent to them down, and then they're shooting at each other, but they got guns, and there's some good scenes with the guns, and then that was pretty fun to watch. Good action. But most of the movie was like, you know, very like detective narration. Like it's like, you know, like there's a lot of narration that, you know, that's over the events and stuff. So it's, you know, it's got that pretty cool aspect where it's like, you know, you're kind of trying to figure out how to solve the story, and there's a lot of twists and turns when you're in all the fucking memories. Pretty cool. I enjoyed it. I recommend it. It's pretty fun. That's my review. Andrea is really high. That's correct. That's correct. I'm really high. So that's an accurate summation of the current situation. But also, I recommend the film. It's a filmographic experience, is what it is. It's film. It's art. It's art when you really think about it. So there you go. It's goddamn art. Reminiscent. Is that a different one? Folks, that's the show for today. I'm going to be goddamn. Do Nick Cage films have their own separate scale? Nick Cage films, like the worst Nick Cage film is better than the best film that doesn't have Nick Cage, that's also not the Muppet movie. So the power rankings. The Muppet movie, number 1, is greater than all the Nicolas Cage movies, but like in parentheses, you know, like you're doing a fucking equation, right? So you put, okay, so Muppet movie, you know, is greater than, right? And then put like 2 or 3 of those. And then parentheses, the entire Nicolas Cage collection from the best movie to the worst movie, right? And then that is greater than the best any other movie. So like any movie that's not Nicolas Cage. So that's the power rankings for movies. But anyway, folks, that's the show. That's the show. I hope you enjoyed the show. I'm once again broadcasting from. I'm broadcasting from the Faraday cage, the bunker. I'm hiding from the cyber ninjas. I'm hiding from the cyber ninjas, and so if you'd like to assist me, if you'd like to, you know, help out, I don't know what that means, but you can choose. This is a choice. That is to say, it is not required. Though maybe, you know, I should make it required, but that's a whole conversation for another time. But as of this current moment, this is not required. But if you'd like to, you can provide to me monetary, you know, you can monetize my monetary. You can give me money, Cash App, PayPal, Patreon. That's it's an option. I mean, it's just there. That's a thing that exists. So I'm gonna drink some coffee, and that's pretty much the show. That's all I got. So I'm gonna be working on some of this a little bit. This is there's a lot going on, folks. So anyway, that's the thing. It's over. That's all I got. Go tell your friends. I'm gonna try to get some of these things out here that I couldn't upload anything, so I'm gonna try to get that there. And y'all have a great day.
It is time for us to do what we have been doing, and that time is every day. Every day it is time for us to agree. It is time for us to do what we have been doing, and that time is every day. Every day it is time for us to agree. It is time for us to do what we have been doing, and that time is every day. Every day it is time for us to agree.
They're coming all over the place. 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 Early in the morning, they went to the table with the black robe, the black shield, and they pulled out the vote.
Force the vote sure was a failure.
Oh, seriously, I've been eating a lot of hot sauce, a lot of raw peppers and hot sauce.
Tweet. That was an opinion of somebody, and that was a retweet. I'll put it out there. People can decide for themselves.
At the same time, the vaccine is one of the greatest achievements of mankind. Well, you have to understand, the first time I ever heard of Black Lives Matter, they were chanting pigs in a blanket, talking about police. Pigs, talking about our police. Pigs in a blanket, fry them like bacon.
Could we have done that sooner?
We are doing it.
But should we have done it sooner?
We are doing it. It is time for us to do what we have been doing, and that time is every day. Every day it is time for us to agree.
They had a very bad original concept. It was carried out poorly.
Get your words straight, Jack.
So, Brandon, I agree.
They weren't coming because they couldn't get in. Once they think they can get in, they're coming, 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 and they are coming at levels that you haven't even seen yet. Coming at levels, and they're coming, and they're coming, and they're coming, and they're...
I eat extra sharp. That's what I eat.
And by the way, you know, I sit on the stand. And to get hot, I got hairy legs. I got hairy legs. I got hairy legs. I got hairy legs. About roaches again. So I learned about roaches again. So I learned about roaches. 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 I learned about kids jumping on my lap, 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 kids jumping on my lap. And I love 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 kids jumping on my lap.
That isn't what it meant.
Well, what did it mean then? Explain.
It meant that it's indicative of low resolution thinking.
Isn't it wonderful to allow protest? No. Running against the worst candidate in the history of presidential politics puts pressure on me. Could you imagine if I lose my whole life? What am I going to do? I'm going to say I lost to the worst candidate in the history of politics. I'm not going to feel so good. Maybe I'll have to leave the country. I don't know. No good. No good.
Hillary examined the terrain. Hillary examined the terrain. Watch a campaign with the man Tim Kaine. Tim Kaine in the membrane. Tim